Hey, sis, welcome to the very first episode of Show Up for Yourself with Michele Lopez. I am so excited about this journey we're about to walk together because this show is really a space for women who are ready to check in with themselves, tell themselves the truth, and grow into the women that we are already designed to be. So every week, we're going to have a real conversation, the kind that we don't always get to have out loud, the kind that will stretch you, check you, and free you, the kind that will remind you your confidence, your identity, and your presence matter. This is where we show up for the woman that God has already designed, not the version that life tried to reduce or have us settle for. Okay. And every episode, I'll start by sharing something that happened in real time. So let me tell you who got checked this week. Me. Because I had a moment, a real moment. It was a moment on a branding shoot where I realized I felt complete and utter irritation. But it wasn't about anybody else. It was actually about me. So I want to walk you through this because if you're anything like me, you've had a moment where your spirit just felt completely off, but you couldn't pinpoint why right away, right? I wasn't mad at them. I wasn't. I was mad at me. So let me tell you what happened. So I was on a branding shoot for a client, right? Um, and visually, everything looked amazing. But energetically, emotionally, internally, I was irritated, frustrated, annoyed. And I literally, in silence, kept asking myself, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling so thrown off? Because the people weren't rude. The client wasn't difficult. The environment wasn't chaotic. But sometimes chaos isn't outside of us, it's actually on the inside. And when I really kept thinking about it, it was like the truth kind of hit me. I said yes to something that I had no business saying yes to. I agreed to use a team that wasn't my team. I agreed to a setup that didn't match my standard. I agreed to something out of convenience and not out of conviction. Have you ever done that? You ever say yes when your spirit has already said, girl, no? Because if I'm honest with you, I knew better. Let me just keep it 100%. Okay. I've been doing this work for over 2 decades. I have mastered identity, image, presence, and how to execute on it all. I know exactly what it's supposed to look like. I know exactly what excellence looks like, and I know how to produce it. So why in the world did I say yes to something that didn't match that for me? Because in the moment, I broke my own boundary. And the thing about a broken boundary is they don't feel wrong right away. They feel convenient. It's like, okay, no problem, fine, right? They feel quick. They feel like, I'll just make it work. I've done this. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'll make it work. But later, whoo, girl, later you will pay for it. The offense I felt was not about them. It was about me betraying what I know. And that is really a hard truth to swallow for any of us because none of us want to admit that we sometimes are the ones that have dropped the entire ball. Sometimes the irritation we feel isn't disappointment in someone else. It's disappointment in ourselves. And nobody really talks about that. We all, like everybody, talks about protect your peace. Because I am a person that talks about it clearly protect your peace. But since sometimes we are actually the ones disturbing it. So here's what I did I paused, I got real quiet. I sat with myself and I said, Michele, this isn't their fault. This is your fault. You did not honor your standard. And the moment I literally admitted that and verbalized that, my irritation calmed because accountability is a healer. And here's a decision I made. From this day forward, I will only use my team, my people, the ones who understand how I do things, the one who understand excellence, the one who execute with precision, the ones who match the level I operate at. No more convenience for anyone. No more hoping someone rises to my standard. No more betraying what I know. Because when you know better and you still don't do better, you create your own disappointment. And let me tell you what that has showed me. It is something that I knew, but it became very clear to me this week. When you break your own boundary, you give other people permission to break it too. When you lower your standard, you invite disappointment. When you don't show up for yourself, you cannot expect excellence from anyone else. And sis, that's when this whole moment shifted for me because I realized it wasn't just about the branding shoot. Of course it wasn't. This was about me having to show up for myself again. And I do it all the time. But this time, this is not in theory, not in a motivational talk, in a real decision, in real moments, in honoring the woman that I am. This week wasn't about correcting anybody else. It was about correcting me. And I want you to hear this part clearly. Self-correction is not shame. Self-correction is self-respect. So today, I want to ask you something. Where in your life have you been irritated, but the irritation was actually about you not honoring you? Where have you been saying yes? Where did you say yes out of fear or guilt or comfort instead of alignment? Where did you feel yourself shrink? But you went along with it anyway. These moments, those moments that I'm telling you about, they matter because they actually tell the truth about where you are. So before I go, I just want you to sit with this one question this week, okay? Where did you break your own boundary? Not where somebody else disappointed you, but where you disappointed yourself. Because that moment right there, that moment that you can become aware of where you disappointed yourself and broke your own boundary, that's where your next level is waiting. So here's your identity work for this week. Choose one boundary. Choose one boundary you will honor. No excuses, just one. Just one. Write it down. Say it out loud. Put it in your phone and show up for yourself in that area. Okay? Okay. If this hit home, if this resonated, if you see yourself anywhere in my story, then sis, welcome home. This is your space. This is the space where we'll grow together. We heal. This is where grown women evolve. Okay? Because we are always evolving and we are grown. And do me a favor, share this with another woman that just needs to check herself, but with love. We are not doing this journey alone. Okay? All right. So I will see you next Sunday, 9 a.m. But until then, girl, show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. Because when you do, changes everything.